Hey there, all you digital artists and 3D enthusiasts. Welcome to Pixel Pioneers. I'm your host, Axel. Are you curious about the world of 3D modeling and animation? Maybe you have opened Autodesk Maya before and felt overwhelmed by all the buttons, tabs, and panels. Well, if that's you, then you have come to the right spot. Today, we're diving deep into the interface of Autodesk Maya, one of the leading software programs in the 3D industry. We'll demystify its layout, tools, and features to get you up and running, whether you're a total beginner or you're just looking for a refresh. We'll go step by step through the main elements so that by the end of this video, you feel comfortable navigating the software and ready to unleash your artistic potential. So, before we begin this exciting exploration, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss the wealth of knowledge we have in store for you in the coming weeks. All right, are we set? Buckle up, because we're about to jump into the fantastic world of 3D with Autodesk Maya. Before we delve into the toolbox and all these exciting features, let's make sure you have Autodesk Maya up and running on your computer. If you haven't already, go ahead and launch the application. What you see once it loads is what we call the default interface. It might look like a cockpit of a spaceship at first with lots of buttons and panels, but don't be intimidated. I promise by the end of this tutorial, you'll know the interface like the back of your hand. Alright, let's start with something fundamental yet indispensable, the select tool. You see this little arrow icon right at the top of your toolbox? That's not just an arrow. It's your gateway to interacting with all the elements in your object. So go ahead and give that arrow a click. You might not see fireworks or hear applause, but in the silent language of Maya, you have just told your cursor, hey, I am ready to select things now. Okay, so you click the arrow. What's next? Move your cursor into the large open space, and we call it the viewport. Even if your cursor seems unchanged, it's now primed and ready to select objects. Let me just for demonstration purpose create some simple object. A sphere, a torus, and a cone. The beauty of the select tool lies in its utility. Whether you're positioning a model, defining an animation path, or even just exploring your scene, this tool is your go-to. Let me show you how it works. I can simply select with left mouse button all the different objects in my scene. Once selected, I can also see my selection in the outliner. The outliner in Maya is essentially a hierarchical list that displays all the objects, lights, cameras, and other elements in your scene. It's a convenient way to select, organize, and manage these components. Think of it as a table of content for your project. So now here's a pro tip. The select tool works great with keyboard shortcuts. For instance, holding down Shift allows you to select multiple objects, one after the other. And you can also see them in the outliner. Everything that's being selected is also visible in the outliner. So, in summary, while this select tool might not seem like the flashiest instrument in your toolbox, it's one you'll be reaching for again and again. Mastering it is your first step towards becoming a Maya pro. Next on the list is the Move tool. Do you see the 4 arrows pointing outwards in different directions? Go ahead and click it. You notice your cursor doesn't change, but here's where the magic happens. Now, when you click on an object in your viewport, in your scene, you see the 3 arrows appear. One in red, one in green, and one in blue. These arrows represent the X, Y, and Z axis. Red is for the X axis, which is horizontal. Green is for the Y axis, which is vertical. And blue is for the Z axis, which is depth. You can drag these arrows to move your object into any particular direction. This allows you to move objects with precision, and it's essential in organizing your scene. But what if you don't want to move just along one axis? You see that little square in the middle of the arrows? That's your ticket to free movement. If you click and drag that square, you can move your object freely in any direction within the viewport. However, be cautious. While this feature offers flexibility, you sacrifice some precision. So when you're doing delicate tasks like placing objects precisely in a scene, it's often better to stick to moving along one axis at a time. So if I try to position the ball freely into the torus, I'm limited because I can't move my sphere into the torus from my current position, since I can't move far enough in the z-axis. But if I use the manipulator one at a time, I can do it more efficiently. But hang on, there's more. Noticed the 3 squares on the move manipulator? One for each axis. Red for X, green for Y, and blue for Z. These squares allow you to move objects along 2 axes simultaneously, while locking the third. For example, if you click and drag the red square, the object will move along both the Y, up and down, and the Z-axis, but are locked in the X-axis. If I click the green square for the Y-axis, I can move along the Z-axis and the X-axis, but are locked in the Y-axis up and down. It's a great way to make complex adjustments while still maintaining some level of control. So there you have it. The Move tool is more versatile than it first appears, offering you various ways to position your object, each with its own set of pros and cons. Alright, time to add some spin to the 3D world. Next on our list is the Rotate tool. You recognize it by its icon, which is right below the Move tool, and it looks more like a circular arrow. Once you click on it, go ahead and select an object in your viewport. You'll notice these colored circles around the object. Each one corresponds to an axis. Red is for the x-axis, green is for the y-axis, and blue is for the z-axis. You want to rotate your object along one of these axes? Well, no problem. Just click and drag the corresponding colored circle. Red for X, blue for Z, and green for the y-axis. But wait, there's more. If you click inside the Rotate tool, but not on any specific axis, you can freely rotate your object without any constraint. Moving on, when the Rotate tool is active, you also see a yellow circle when hovering over it, surrounding the entire object. Click and drag that yellow circle and you experience what we call the view-based rotation. Your object will rotate based on your current camera view in the viewport. So if you're looking at the object from a particular angle and you rotate it using the yellow circle, the rotation will be relative to the angle of view, independent of the fixed X, Y, and Z axis. But remember, while this view-based rotation and the freeform rotation gives you more freedom, they do come at the cost of precision, so use them wisely, especially when exact alignment is key. And there you have it, a complete and updated guide to use the Rotate tool in Maya. Whether you're sticking to a single axis, going freeform, or using view-based rotation, you now have the knowledge to rotate your objects just the way you want. Last but certainly not least, let's explore the Scale tool, rounding out our essential trio of tools in Maya. Let's look for the icon that looks like a square inside a square. It's right below the rotate tool. Click on it and then click on an object in your viewport. You see the 3 color tubes appear around your object: red, green, and blue, each representing an axis. Feel like making your object taller or shorter? Grab the green cube and start dragging. You're scaling along the y-axis. Want it wider or narrower? Then use the red cube that controls the x-axis. The blue axis is there for the z. Make your objects deeper or shallower. But what if you want your object to grow or shrink proportionally? Simple. Just click and drag the small white cube in the center of those colored cubes. This will scale your object uniformly in all directions. Quick heads up. Scaling can affect more than just the size, so it might impact other elements in a complex scene, like textures and physics simulations. So always keep the bigger picture in mind when scaling your objects. And that's the wrap up of our deep dive into the scale tool. Whether you're trying to adjust the dimensions or your object or maintain its proportions, now you know exactly what to do. Maya is all about making your life easier and your creative process faster. And what is faster than keyboard shortcuts? Let's talk about the magical W, E, and R keys. When you hit the W key, you'll see the Move manipulator pop up. This shortcut instantly activates your Move tool, so you don't have to go clicking through the toolbox. Similarly, E is your go-to for the Rotator manipulator. Instantly, those circular handles appear and you're ready to spin your project or object in any way you like. And then we have R, which brings up the Scale manipulator with its cubical handles. Now you can stretch or squash your object with ease. In summary, W is for moving, E is for rotating, and R is for scaling. And remember, you can still select objects while being in any of these modes. Once you get these keys into your muscle memory, you'll be navigating Maya like a pro. By incorporating keyboard shortcuts into your workflow, you not only speed up your process, but also free up your cursor to focus on the creative aspects of your project. The Maya Aesthetic Viewport. It's the large area right in the middle of your screen. If Maya was a stage, the viewport would be the spotlight where all the action happens. Now, navigating the viewport can seem a little intimidating at first, but trust me, it becomes second nature. Hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and drag your mouse. Left mouse button rotates your view. Middle mouse button pans. And the right mouse button zooms out and in. But what if you have a specific object you want to focus on? Easy peasy. Just click on the object and hit F on your keyboard. Like magic, the viewport will center on that very specific object, making it easier for you to work on. And again, I'm zooming out, I'm rotating around so to see all things I might be interested in. I'm panning to another object, I'm clicking on it, I'm focusing, I'm rotating. And there you have it. Your guide to a comprehensive Maya overview. You are now one step closer to becoming a Maya maestro. So whether you're sculpting, animating, or just planning your next move, the viewport is where you will be spending most of your creative time. Learning to navigate it smoothly is like getting superpower, allowing you to put your focus where it counts and bring your imagination to life. So Up next is the menu bar. It's that stripe at the top of your screen with the words like File, Edit, Create, Select, Modify, and many more. Now this is important because this is essentially your control center in Maya. Every operation you want to carry out usually can be found somewhere in these menus. So for the first task, let's create a new scene. This is crucial because each time you want to start a fresh project, this is how you'll do it. So go ahead and click on the file in the menu bar. As soon as you click it, a drop-down menu appears. You'll see a lot of options, but don't get overwhelmed. We're focusing only on new scene for now. It should be right near the top of the drop-down. Clicking on new scene will bring up a dialog box. This box asks you whether you want to save the changes to the current scene before creating actually a new one. If you're just practicing or you're sure you don't need the current scene, go ahead and click Don't Save. So now let's glide to this row of icons right below the menu bar. This, my friends, is the shelf. The shelf is essentially your quick access toolbar. Think of it like your phone's home screen, but for Maya, filled with app icons or, in your case, tools that you can launch with a single click. Now let's dive a little deeper. The shelf is organized into various tabs. Okay, so each serving a specific category. For instance, you may have a tab for modeling. Another one is for animation, and so on and so forth. These tabs are like little folders that house related tools, making it easier to find what you need when you need it. So why is this organizational system useful? Well, when you're in the thick of creation, time is of essence. Having your go-to tools neatly sorted into categories saves you those precious seconds. And as we all know, every second counts in bringing your imagination to life. So let's try it out. Click the sphere icon and boom, a sphere appears in your viewport. Try it again. Click on the cylinder. And here we are, right in the middle of your viewport. Now that you're acquainted with the shelf, what if I told you you can create your own personalized shelf? It's like customizing your phone's home screen. To create your very own shelf tab, to categorize or for your own convenience, simply click on that icon here to modify or create and select New Shelf. Let's name it My Fav Tools. Okay, here you go. Your own shelf tab is born. It is for now empty, but not for long. So how about adding your favorite tools to your newly created shelf tab? It's super easy. Do you remember that I told you before that you can access every possible operation somewhere in these menus here from the menu bar? Great. All you have to do is, for this specific demonstration purpose, is going to the Edit Mesh menu. That opens a drop-down. Go with your cursor to the Extrude tool. Hold down Ctrl and Shift and click on the tool you want, in our case, Extrude. You see what happened? You have just personalized your shelf. Customization is the name of the game here. Okay, let's focus on another incredible useful aspect of Maya's interface, the workspaces. You see that drop-down menu at the top? It's usually in the upper right corner, but its location might really differ based on how you have customized your workspace. So the drop-down menu is more than just a menu. It's a game changer for your workflow. You can switch between different workspace layouts here, each tailored to different tasks like modeling, animation, rigging, whatever you can think of. So ready to give it a go? Your workspace is probably set to something like general or modeling by default. So let's go ahead and change it. As I switch, keep an eye on the entire UI. Did you see that? It's like Maya just got a complete makeover. giving us a new set of panels, many options suited for animation, such as the graph editor and the time editor. But don't worry, these topics will be covered in later tutorial. But imagine the possibilities here. If you're working on both modeling and animation in a single project, you can flip between these workspaces in a flash. This keeps your workspace uncluttered and focused, letting you concentrate on what you do best, creating amazing 3D art. Alright folks, let's switch gears a bit and talk about making Maya truly your own. Yep, we're diving into how you can customize this interface to fit just how you work. So first off, you've got to love the drag and drop feature. See a panel or a tab you want to move, just click and drag. It's that simple. So let me just take the channel box here on the right. I'm moving it to the left next to the outliner. Done. I'm just moving it in front of the outliner. Done. With all those drag and drop, if you ever messed up with something and don't know how to get back, just go to the workspace, reset current workspace, and you're back to default. Next up, let's talk about these tabs here. In this specific case on the right side, but as you have already noticed, we have tabs everywhere. You can also drag and drop those. So I'm just going again with the channel box, but instead just releasing it on the left as a panel, I can now just drag it next to the outliner, and instead having it available as a panel, I have it available as a tab next to my outliner. So if you're ever wondering, hey, can I save this setup for later? Yes, you can. Right at the top, you have Save Current Workspace As. You can save, load, whatever you want, but the next time you open it, you have your very own customized workspace available in the drop-down menu. So, there you have it, friends. Customizing your workspace in Maya is as easy as drag, drop, and click. We have covered a lot today. The toolbox, the viewport, menu bar, shelves, workspace, and customization. Trust me, knowing these basics will make your time in Maya a breeze. And that's a wrap, folks. I hope you have found this tutorial helpful. If so, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and let me know what you want to learn next in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Until next time, keep creating.